Hello everyone, I'm Pete Wenzel from AnyBrick, and today I will show you how to build a cool and practical set for making stop-motion movies using bricks. This video is for people who have already tried making movies using bricks and want to get some tips on how to build sets. If you never tried making movies using bricks, it's best to watch another video first, because this video might be too complicated if you're new to it. The other video is called Lego Stop Motion Tutorial for Beginners, and it is especially made for people who are just starting out. All the important links are listed in the video's description, so you can easily find them. With this video, I want to give you some ideas to think about if you're building your set for your next movie. If you're building a set just for one shot, or if you're going to play many scenes in one set, some things will be different and others will be the same. Most people build sets for many scenes, so that's what I will talk about in this video. When building a set, there are two main topics to think about. First, technical items, and second, creative ones. First, let's talk about the technical things you should think about. A good set should be easy to get to, take up the whole picture, stay steady, and be easy to take apart and put back together again. And now let's talk about the creative ones. A good set should also help telling the story, has extra decoration, and should look like it has space and distance. All these things are connected and can affect each other, so you have to think about all of them together. To make it easier to understand, I will use a real-life example to explain each part in more detail. The set I'll be talking about is from my movie Wagon 21, which I made for a special holiday event. If you'd like to watch the movie, you can find the link in the video's description. So you can better understand why I have made certain choices, here's a little bit about what happened in this story. The main character was already said to be the same in all 24 movies. The movie starts with the main character walking into a train car through one door, and it ends with them walking out through another one. I wanted to make a creepy train car that looked like a castle, where the main character is attacked by a skeleton, finds a weapon to defend themselves, and fights back. Instead of talking about all points in one group, I will go through each one of them in the order that I did them when building this set. That way you will know exactly where I was in the creation process when I made each decision. Let's begin with stability. And for this point, I need to go more into detail. Even if your set is super sturdy, it won't help if the table it's on is wobbly or the camera shakes. So I put a heavy cabinet under the set and glued base plates to it. That way the set and the table it's on stay steady. I also use a big tripod to keep my camera steady while filming. Now imagine that you have the set, the camera, some lamps, and you want to be able to reach into the set to move things around. And it's also important for me to be able to change the camera angle easily. So since I can only turn the set in 90-degree increments on the solid studded surface, it's really important for the set to be modular, so I can change the camera angle easily. That's why I've been using modular frames as the base for my sets for a few years now. It makes it easier for me to make changes. These modular frames are 8 by 16 studs in size, and I can connect them using Technic pins to make even bigger units if I need to. So now we have talked about stability, then briefly touched on accessibility, and now we're talking about modularity. By using the modular frames, I can also decide on the size of the set. that I want to build. So I take a few of them and say, this is going to be my train carriage. And the protagonist must be able to walk through the entire carriage. I want to make the set look really cool by only using the light that comes in through the windows of the carriage. So it might be a little bit dark and the light might change, making it hard to see the little minifig clearly. Because the main character is black and blue, I choose grey as the color for the walls. This will make it look like the walls of a castle, and I got some contrast to the minifig. The floor should be made to look like brown wooden planks. We are going to use red colors to help connect the red doors and to show a path through the carriage. The view from inside the set to the top is blocked by black and brown bars. These bars also help keep the set strong and steady. The bars are connected to special pieces called jumper plates, so they can be taken off for moving the figures. Once I'm happy with how big and how it looks, I will add more details to the walls. So the spheres won't wiggle or move around by accident if they got touched. I'm attaching them with 2 clips, not only just one. By adding chests, barrels and swords, there will be more interesting things to see. Depending on how the camera is pointing, these things can be in the foreground of the picture too. The swords that are laying around are held still with clips, so they won't move around while we are making pictures. But I will put one additional sword in a place where the main character can pick it up after falling. We have chains all around the set, but for each shot I will adjust them just a little bit to make the final picture look even better. In the end, I made the wagon a little bit longer by adding one more modular frame to it. This was easy to do because I built it using a special method called modular construction. The view through the windows and doors is blocked with bright light and white paper. Now that we have this set, we should be able to make a really cool movie using building blocks. And we will have a lot of choices for how to point the camera. These are the things that I think about as I am building each set. Of course, there are other ways to do the things I have talked about too. If you do it a different way and it works very well for you, then that's fine. You don't have to change how you do things just because I do it differently. But hopefully this sneak peek behind the scenes will give you some ideas and inspiration for your next movie. You may have noticed some strange wording or even repetition in this video. The reason is that I have intentionally used a simple language in this video so that it can be also understood by children. And that's the end for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Now you have reached the end of this video. But this doesn't mean you have to talk to real people. You may be interested in my new video over there. Or you could watch this recommended video. And as a last opportunity, there are many more videos for you at my channel.